Welcome to day 12 of the Advent calendar. The Vik-a-min for today is stimulating your vagus nerve. And actually your vagus nerve is your secret weapon in fighting stress. It is an amazing nerve that wanders throughout your body, hence the name vagus, and it helps regulate so many of your body functions. In fact, one of the theories of long COVID is that our vagus nerve has been damaged by long COVID, and hence some of our taken for granted bodily functions do not work properly. And hence also why there are so many symptoms of long COVID. So that's just a little aside, but what you need to focus on, because the vagus nerve actually controls your heart rate. So when you can engage it, you can actually slow your heart rate down and get yourself into a less stressed state, what we call the rest and digest or the parasympathetic state. And I like to think of the vagus nerve. There is actually something that's squirted into your system called Vaso Staff. Vaso Staff. It is a self-made tranquilizer. And if you can imagine that being squirted into your system, and it really calms you down. And the way that we do this in a very simple way is by taking longer exhalations. As I've said, the vagus nerve controls your heart rate. When you're in a stressful situation, you really want to try and slow your heart rate down. So the way that I do this is through breath work. There are other ways to do it. But let's just talk about breath work for a minute, because that's my favorite subject. Nasal breathing, what you're going to do, and a great tip here is to find a metronome on YouTube or a 1-second ticker, so that you can really measure your inhale and exhale. So to stimulate that vagus nerve, you want to do an inhale for 4 and a longer exhale. It is the longer exhale that stimulates the vagus nerve. So some people do 4 and 6. Some people do 3 and 5. It depends on what your breathing capacity is. But you want to do a very nice slow nasal inhale for 4 and a nasal exhale for 6. So if you're in a stressed position, if you're feeling stress, do that breathing for 2 minutes. And if you are very stressed, do it for 5 minutes. You'll find that your decision making is better. And like I said, that is your vagus nerve being stimulated. And it's this whole cycle of if you can relax the vagus nerve, you're going to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, your vagus nerve activity increases and your relaxation increases. So it's a really great exercise to do right before you go to bed. Remember, that's what we want to have, is a restful night of sleep. So doing 5 minutes of cadence breathing, the 4 and the 6, is a really good way to get us into that, the body's mode for its best rest and digest and relax. So give that exercise a try. Remember that little self-made tranquilizer called Vaso Staff, and it's squirting into your system, and it is just giving you your vagus nerve a boost. You're actually increasing your vagal tone. And I think at this time of year, our vagal tones all need a bit of work on. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.